Imagine a world where everybody is connected. Imagine a world where somebody in Japan can do a transaction with somebody in the United States without high banking fees. Imagine a world no longer ruled by greedy corporate banks. There's going to become a time when we think of central banks in the same way we think about calling an operator to talk to a friend on the phone. This weird, annoying entity that came between us and the things we actually wanted. You aren't going to drown in fees anymore. You aren't going to borrow money from a bank. You aren't going to fight a half a dozen middlemen. It'll just be you and your money anywhere on earth. And once this happens, cryptocurrency could very well make the US dollar obsolete. Once people understand how easy this is and get used to it, the demand for legacy money controlled by a government and bank is going to plummet like a rock. Welcome to the world of cryptocurrency. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our special late night crypto talk. Hey, Peter Ohanian, I see you, my man. I've got you scheduled, and I'm going to send you a private message so you know what's taking place later on. I haven't made the official announcement yet. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow night. But greetings, everybody. This is our late night crypto talk, part 2, where we're going to cover what are NFTs. Last night, we covered part 1. This is an ongoing series because this is a very long article, so we're doing it in pieces. Only because I don't read to read, I read to understand. And that means I like to share stories and I like to break things down in ways that my mom can understand. That's just how I do things. I read things like a lawyer does and reading in between the lines. So we're taking our time as we go through that, but go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinions, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction that you want to move into. So let me share screen, and the first thing we have to do is see where the market is at right now. I've been noticing this evening a big downward spiral that's been taking place. So we'll see when I do crypto talk tomorrow morning if that has been holding up. So right now, let's see, we're looking at a huge drop. The market cap is at 2.1 trillion, down 6.9%. Bitcoin dominance fell as well. It was at 37.8 this morning. It's at 37.5 right now. Ethereum was at 19.2, was at 19.1. So we're seeing more of a drop in the altcoins than we are specifically with Bitcoin. But Bitcoin has had a big drop, down 6.5% past 24 hours at 43,000. Ethereum is down 7%. Binance is down 8. Solana 10. Polkadot, Cardano 7, Ripple 7, Polkadot 10, Terra 10, Avalanche 10. This is a huge drop that we're seeing across the board. Who is being spared so far from this? Who's being spared? Really nobody. Magic Internet Money is up 0.3%. Leo token 0.2%. Stablecoin Terra USD. So no one's really being spared. The entire market's having a drop. The worst hit so far is Celsius Networks, down 23%. Internet Computer 17, Axie Infinity 16, Spell Token 16, Tezos 16, Gala 15, Hedera 15, Convex Finance 15, CRV 15, Loopring 14, Elron 13. This is buying opportunity right now. But you got to wait to see how far is this going to continue to drop. The last hour, we've seen it slow down. It slowed down the last hour, but still has not had a flatline effect just yet. but this is a major reversal. You have different analysts that are saying different things. I can't wait to see what the news says tomorrow morning. How low can this go? In my opinion, I hope this gets to 30K, below 35K. And I hope it stays there for at least 6 days. If it can stay below 42,000 to 35K for 60 days, that's what I hope. And you guys may say, Brandon, are you crazy? Why in the world do you want it to go down? Because I can buy more. I want to be able to buy more and then ride it when the rocket ship shoots right back up, as it will. So the last 24 hours, I didn't recognize some of you guys that's on here. Yeah, see, Aaron. Good evening, Aaron. Janelle from Colorado. See, Renee Hoffman. Pelvis Lofties, Corpus Christi. Marnita from Colorado. Jacqueline Briggs, St. Petersburg, Florida. And Tony Pinkston. Oh, Aaron is on the YouTube side. Okay, Janelle. I'm on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook Live right now. Karen Murphy, good evening. Janelle, let's see. Oh, you're adding people here. Probably you think it'll drop between 28K to 32K? I'm cool with that. Dion, good evening. Yeah, I'm cool with a drop that low. All right, so last night, where do we leave off at? Right here. Blockchain technology and NFTs. And again, if you missed last night, I strongly encourage you to go back, watch the recording. It is on my YouTube channel and it's on Facebook. Last night's recording of what are NFTs. So let's see, what are we going to learn tonight? Blockchain technology and NFTs. Blockchain technology 101, a comprehensive explanation. All right, I already did that. What? Blockchain technology and NFTs. For a full, thorough explanation of blockchain technology. Okay, so they're not covering that. What data is contained in an NFT? An NFT is essentially just a file of data that identifies ownership of something, such as a digital piece of art like the CryptoPunk JPEG image. NFTs can identify ownership of other things besides just pieces of digital art. But let's use an NFT identifying ownership of a piece of art as an example. Contained in the data file, the NFT is a unique... Okay, wait. There's one thing that we learned last night. There's two ways that people are looking at an NFT. An NFT is the image itself. Like, let me scroll up and show you that. I like this right here. Someone can say, this is an NFT, the image itself. In actuality, the NFT is the data file that points to the image. There's a difference. Not the image itself, it's the data file. Who owns the data file? It's like Ripple and then XRP. Ripple's the company. XRP is the token, even though people call the token Ripple. So NFT is the image. People can call it the image, but in actuality, it is the data file that is pointing towards the image. So NFTs can identify ownership of other things besides just pieces of digital art. But let's use an NFT. Oh yeah, that's a sublink information. Yeah. Let's use an NFT. An NFT is essentially just a data file that identifies ownership of something, such as a digital piece of art. NFTs can identify ownership of other things besides just pieces of digital art. But let's use an NFT identifying ownership of a piece of art as an example. Contained in the data file, the NFT is a unique digital signature for the particular piece of art. No other NFT will have the same signature. Each NFT is authentic and one of a kind, just like each person's signature. Do you know what else is like the same thing? Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. 21 million Bitcoin. But guess what? Every single Bitcoin has an identifier on it. Every single one. It can never be duplicated. It has an identifier on it. Same concept with NFTs. Each NFT is authentic and one of a kind, just like each person's signature or your fingerprint. As well, inside the data file NFT, there will be a link to the actual original piece of art within the data file. This data file also specifies who the creator of the piece of art was and who the current owner of the piece of art and all previous owners. You guys see that? It's like when you understand the blockchain is nothing but collecting data, filling up the data. Once the block is filled, a new block is formed to fill up data, and it links to the previous block, so you have a history. So whenever you see tokens fork, like when Ethereum forked into Ethereum Classic or Bitcoin forked into Bitcoin Cash, they both share the same history at the time of fork, and then they create a new path. But the history is still being recorded. NFTs as well. The NFT data file is able to record who the creator was, who created it, who bought it, when they sold it, who bought it again, when they sold it, who bought it again. It carries a history of all of the owners. How is that done now in the real world? You know, there's whenever the Mona Lisa was created, there's a history of who has owned the Mona Lisa since creation. But that's, written down notes. Then you've got art pieces that have been stolen and been out of circulation for 75 years, and all of a sudden it pops back up again. See here, the data file is recording all of this information. Keep in mind that the data file will only contain the anonymous wallet address of the owner and previous owners. No identifying personal information about anyone will be documented in an NFT. In other words, it is still anonymous. That is what crypto is all about. You don't know who exactly the owner is unless they decide they want to go out there and show it, hey, I own this thing. It is just wallet addresses. NFT owners and transactions are completely anonymous. However, many owners of prestigious NFTs eventually unmask. In other words, they want to reveal themselves. Why? Because they want to stun on everybody. They want to let everybody know, yeah, look at what I got. Look at how much money I spent on this. Finally, furthermore, the data file will record every transaction, including the amounts that the piece of art went through during its lifetime. Finally, NFTs may also contain smart contracts. Smart contracts may enforce a rule related to the NFT. The most common type of smart contract is one that governs that every time that the piece of art is sold, the original creator will get a percentage. Whoa. See, now this is the stuff that gets my attention. This is why we were on the TOAX NFT, for example, because it creates passive income just by owning the NFT, almost like staking, for example. So with this smart contract, think about this. Smart contracts may enforce a rule related to the NFT. So if you can get good at creating NFTs and then you're selling them out there in the world for others, because you were the original creator of it, the smart contract can be programmed that every time it's sold again, you get a percentage. Think of how good that is for artists, for musicians. What about real estate? What if this happened? Because this doesn't happen right now. Unless you're renting a property. You own the property. You rent it out to somebody. They're paying monthly for it, so you're getting monthly on it, but you still own it. But what if you owned a house and you sold the house? but the next owner also sells the house. You are the creator of, you are the original. You still get a piece every time that property is being sold. Do you realize how big that is? That's a name I haven't seen in a while. What's going on, superstar Stacy from Louisiana? So just think about the possibilities. This is why I say this year will be the year of NFTs and metaverse. You're also going to see a record number of businesses, companies, scams pop up using this technology as their product, whether legitimate or not legitimate. And there are people who are going to make a lot of money. I plan on being one of them. You can make a lot of money off these NFTs. As an example of a smart contract of this type, let's say the creator of an NFT includes a smart contract rule in this NFT that states that the creator will make 10% off of every sale that this NFT ever goes through, ever. The creator then sells this NFT for $1 in 2021. The new owner sits on this NFT for 4 years and then sells it for $1 million in 2025. The creator will then automatically receive $100,000 worth of a cryptocurrency, most likely Ethereum, into their crypto wallet. It will happen automatically. It's not like the person who originally created it and sold it for $1 has to keep tabs on the person who bought it for $1. It's not like they have to exchange information. It's not like the person who sells it 4 years later for $1 million needs to go back to the original creator and say, hey, I sold it for $1 million. Here's your cut. In fact, the person who sold it for $1 million is not sending money directly to the original creator. The system, the smart contract, will do it automatically. Do you understand how huge this is? I'm gonna expand your mind even bigger as a possibility. Once governments figure this out, think of the possibilities that governments can do with their citizens. When the banking industry starts to figure this out as not as a threat, but as a way of making more money, more efficiency. I'm going to give you not a prediction, but a spoiler alert. Every single government entity and corporation on this planet will be utilizing this technology as long as they can figure out a way to control it themselves. Every single one, which means every single one of you will be involved one way or another, whether you like it or not. You don't have a choice. Only now you do have a choice on how you will be involved. Obviously, the data of an NFT is very important. Millions of dollars could be lost if this data disappeared or were altered in any way. So how can we know this data is safe? Where are NFTs stored? So NFTs are stored on a blockchain. NFTs are stored in blocks on a blockchain, most commonly the Ethereum blockchain. And with the price of Ethereum right now, you definitely want to be buying into this because I predict Ethereum is going to go to $20,000 at least by the end of this year. That's my opinion. My opinion right now is at 3,500. This could go down to 33,000. A blockchain is unable to be changed or tampered with. As well, almost every major blockchain is publicly available for anyone in the world to take a look at any piece of data on the blockchain at any time. Blockchains are distributed, public, and immutable. You know, what is if you live in the United States, we are very politicized right now. And everybody's up in arms about voting. Now, I'm going to walk eggshells here yet again, Because when we talk about politics, some people take it as religion. If you don't believe as they believe, you are the enemy. You're Satan. You're evil. You don't love America. Yeah, that's what people believe. If you don't believe as me, you're against America. So I'm going to walk on eggshells here, but I want to make a point. There is a solution. When you live in a society where the people cannot share a basic foundation of facts, where facts is in the eye of the beholder, when you live in a world like that, where no matter the results of something, it's going to be challenged by the other side who does not like the results, whether there's evidence to it or not, belief is enough. Facts be damned. I believe this is what happened, therefore it is so. How do you argue that? How do you debate that? Because it doesn't matter how much facts you put in front of somebody, those facts will even be challenged. Is the sky blue? I don't know. I'm looking at it as blue, but you know what? I saw on TV somebody said it's not actually blue. What if the ocean turned green and the sky had to reflect it? Maybe it's green. But there is one way to solve the problem. I'm going to give you the solution. I'm not going to argue anybody's point of view. But I have a solution. You ready? Want to know what the solution is? Put voting on the blockchain. And any politician who's against it already has evil, I don't want to use the word evil, already has negative intent. Doesn't matter, Democrat or Republican. Put voting on the blockchain. It can't be tampered. It can't be changed. It can't be manipulated. It is public. It is immutable. It is dealt with mathematics, not a person's personal opinion, belief, or emotions. There's no hiding ballots. There's no dead people voting. Put it on the blockchain and watch all of the problems go away. You want to have election reform? Put it on the blockchain. I seriously doubt it. That would probably be the last thing. You'll have government will come up with their own government dollar. They'll come up with all the businesses. Everybody will be using the blockchain. But the last thing that will be on the blockchain will be voting. Eventually it will be. But it will be the last because all sides want to figure out how they can manipulate the system. Whether through gerrymandering, whether through judges, whether through election officials, whether through the electoral college. Neither side actually wants fair voting. They want to always make it so that they're in a position to win. But if you want to have unchallenged, fair, democratic system where every single vote counts, put it on the blockchain. And then be wary of anybody who argues against it. If somebody in Congress brings it up, like if I was a congressman or a senator, I would make an motion. I would create a bill and say, I create a bill. I want to write a law that we do election reform and make it on a blockchain. Put it on the distributed ledger technology. And then watch who's going to vote against that. Is crooked. All right. For these reasons, an NFT can never be stolen off a blockchain. Furthermore, an NFT can't ever be duplicated. So there's no double voting. There's no, you stole my election. This is where the name NFT comes from. NFT stands for, remember we asked before, what does, like I told, my mom says, what does NFT stand for? Non-fungible token. What the hell does that mean? Non-fungible token basically means non-replicable token. They should call it that. I mean, come on now. Just say non-replicable token. But then you have to call it NRT. So they got to go with NFT, non-fungible token, or non-replaceable token. I can live with NRT. Name it an NRT. An NFT is one of a kind. I'm going to give you another example. When I was first learning about the blockchain, I read an article that said that how this could be used in governments. You guys know about South Africa and apartheid. And if you know the history of South Africa, you know that when the colonizers came through and the Dutch came through, and they are a minority in the country, yet they held all the power. And they took land more than 150 years ago from the native South Africans. So for 150 years, maybe 200 years, these colonizers controlled the land, built property on the land, they built farms on the land, they made money, generational wealth off the land. When apartheid ended, the government said, we are now going to return that land back to the rightful owners that it was taken from. Same thing happened here in Los Angeles with, if you're not familiar, with the beach called Bruce's Beach. If you're not familiar, especially if you're not from California, you've never heard of the story. There was a plot of land right on the ocean where during segregation, minorities were not allowed to swim in the ocean in certain parts, except Bruce's Beach. A plot of land right on the ocean was purchased by an African-American family. And they created a resort that was a safe haven for minorities to be able to enjoy the freaking beach without discrimination, without being I don't even want to go into all that. Yeah, you guys know. And then what did the city do? They were making too much money. That plot of land was valuable. And the neighboring community said, we don't like them black people having too much fun and making money over there. We want that land. And they did eminent domain and took the land from the family who owned it. And it took, 75 years or 60? No, I think it's about 75 years. The city has now finally given it back to the descendants. They're now the grandchildren and great-grandchildren of Bruce and his wife. They now have control of that land back. But they can directly point, my grandpa, that's my grandpa. I was a kid when that was going on. But what if it's more than 200 years old? What if we're talking about how do you reconcile land that was taken 200 years ago? Who really owns it? What if there was so many cousins and descendants, so by the time you're at the 6th or 7th generation, they're able to claim, both have rightful rights to that property. It's like me and Marnita fighting over some property from our grandma, great-grandmas. Which family line has the rightful? So there was 2 fights that took place. Fights between family members whose ancestors owned that land. And then what about the people who say, well, my family's lived on this for 100 years. We didn't take the land from anybody. You're going to displace us. We're the ones who worked that land. We have a rightful claim to it. So now you got an entire legal mess. And now you got people have to prove. They were doing DNA testing, family documents, records, historical records. One major mess was one building where all the records for the last 100+ years was stored, burned down in a fire. And the fire wasn't even accidental. It was set on fire on purpose to burn all the records. By the colonizers did that. They were the only ones that had the evidence. But if they had it on the blockchain, then you know exactly who owns what, belongs to who over generations. There is only one, two, three that I got to say that I know of. There are three organizations in the world today that is able to track their family tree, what they call them purebloods, over centuries. One, the British royal family. My wife told me a fact that I didn't know, that when they travel and they travel with their doctors, they also travel with blood plasma. That's their own. So if they ever need to have a blood transfusion away from the UK, they're not mixing their blood with the blood from the local population. It's their own blood. That is how pure they keep themselves. Inbreeding. The current queen was married to her cousin. Prince Philip was her cousin. They shared the same, was it grandmother? Queen Victoria from the 1800s. They shared the same grandma. Purebloods. The second is the Saudi Arabian royal family that have done the same thing. Now, there's a lot of them. There's a lot. 1,000 or so princes. And the third was, where it's no longer really there, but it's still tracked, was the Japanese royal family. The Japanese royal family. You might be able to go to the Chinese, but they got away from that a while back. But those royal families, they keep meticulous records for hundreds and hundreds of years of the family genealogy. How many of you know who your great-grandpa's name is? Huh? Anybody know where you came from? I learned back. The reason why most people don't know their great-grandpa's name is because he didn't leave you any money. But wealthy families know who their great-grandfather is. They go to their mansions and they got a big ass picture of him above the fireplace or on the stairway wall. They know who their ancestors are. You better believe my descendants are going to know my name, because they know what Pop did during the greatest economic shift in wealth in human history at the beginning and dawn era of the blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. I did something, and it's being recorded. So not only will they know my name, they will know what I look like, and they will know what I sound like, because our generation is the first that we're able to record all of this. That wasn't like that for our great-grandparents and beyond. Blockchain is revolutionary. All right. Hey, you guys know I tell stories. I get off on tangents, so I take our time reading through this stuff. I want you to understand. So therefore, people can copy an image as much as they want and use an image as much as they want, but they'll never be able to convince the world that they own that image. You can copy all the Mona Lisas you want, and it can look exactly like the original, but it ain't the original. Anyone can refer to the blockchain to see who the true sole owner of the original image is. Well, they can see the anonymous wallet address of the owner anyway. It's up to the owner whether they want to publicly reveal themselves or not. And I'm sorry, but you don't want to do that. Put your ego aside. You don't want to do that. Even though everybody else in the world can have possession of the image, the owner is the only person in the world who has undisputed ownership of that image, because the owner is the only person in the world who owns the NFT pointing to the image. The implementation of this technology has generated rapid. See, I love the adjective being used. It didn't say has generated quick. It didn't say has generated somewhat or timid or soft. No, rapid economic and societal changes across the globe. What is the first thing I said? Blockchain technology is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet. This is going to have rapid economic and societal changes across the globe over the past couple of years. What makes NFTs special? What makes NFTs special? Why have NFTs become such a big deal so quickly? What characteristics of the concept have caused so much hype? NFTs are sources of recognition and pride. Acquiring NFTs is often used as a way to gain social capital in the crypto world, in the crypto and art community. Essentially, expensive bragging rights, ego driven, or hubris. 33-year-old Vignesh Sundaresan is the person currently credited with buying the second most expensive NFT ever sold. He spent $69.3 million on the NFT Everydays, the first 5,000 days in February 2011. An Indian immigrant to Canada, he got involved with Bitcoin in 2012 and then made his fortune after launching one of the earliest online crypto exchanges in 2013. Then there are many collectors who chose to remain publicly anonymous. They may reveal their NFTs only to a close circle of family and friends, or nobody at all. These people may buy NFTs simply to feel the pride of ownership. I did The Secret the other day. I only do that talk once a year. And one of the most important things, what The Secret is this right here. Feelings. Feel. Somebody will spend millions of dollars just to feel good. The pride of ownership. NFTs are completely unique, non-fungible. In an age where everything can easily and freely be copied and shared on the internet, NFTs are a way for somebody to actually truly own a one-of-a-kind digital asset. I just had another thought. Okay. This is late night crypto talk, so some people might be offended by some of the things I say, but it's late night crypto talk. Hey, I'm very good as opposed to what I used to be. But if you ever want to see new technology, if it's going to take place, it always gets started in the underbelly of society. You know, drugs, criminal activity, pornography, sex industry. But can you imagine the porn industry, the what do you call them, actors? Actors and the actresses in the porn industry. They do a video one time. Or now that somebody told me, or my cousin told me what OnlyFans is, they don't need to go through, just like musicians who got to get a record deal. Or I live in California, so the Valley is porn central. That's where all the porn videos are made. What if you don't need to go through a third party for your content? What if you can create an NFT of what you do and you put it on a smart contract and you sell it? Like Wu-Tang Clan came out with a album that only had one copy. Only one person's been able to listen to it. Can't even be shared. But what if you're able to do that and then you distribute it, and every time it is being sold or viewed, you're getting a percentage because you created the NFT of your own work, body of work, whatever that body of work is. I'm just using this as an example. Oh, wait. Every time I speak, my phone hears myself. Okay. No. I did not do that. So what if, and it's not even a what if because the technology is there. It's your mindset. It is your vision, your creativity. How creative can you get? Eventually, every single one of you guys will have some form of an NFT or token representing yourself. Don't you think that's what I'm going to be doing? Better believe it. I'm going to put my crypto education on NFTs. I'm not there yet. I will be. The fact that there is one and only one of each NFT in existence is what makes collecting NFTs different from collecting most other traditionally collected items: trading cards, coins, jewelry, antiques, stamps, alcohol, comic books, etc. They're only scratching the surface. If you buy an NFT, you can rest easy knowing that there will never be another person who also owns that same NFT, unless, of course, you sell it. However, NFTs are often made in a series, so there will likely be other NFTs in the series with a similar style to your NFT. Of course, traditional art is also usually one of a kind. Look at how much more I can go within this hour. The public has complete access to the art associated with NFTs. There is a big difference between collecting NFTs and collecting traditional art, though. When somebody buys an NFT, they are not hoarding it away like an art collector. Like some art, you can only see it if you visit their home. And then what they do is they put it on loan to a museum or a dealership somewhere, and then it travels around the country, and you spend the night out with your significant other, pay a whole lot of money to go to an art gallery to see art that is on display for a short amount of time, and all you get to do is stand there and look at it. To me, that has got to be one of the most boringest activities in the world. Why in the world I want to stand there and waste my time looking at something I don't understand and I don't appreciate? But you do it because it's limited. Because after a certain amount of time, it's going back in private. Won't be for public display. However, for NFTs, they are all public display. They can't be hoarded. The digital art that the NFT collector has bought can still be freely enjoyed and admired by everyone else in the world. Perhaps that fact even makes owning an NFT more appealing to some collectors. In fact, Vignesh Sundararajan actually stated that he believes the beauty of an NFT is when everyone gets to enjoy it. He actually encourages everyone to download a free copy of his Everydays the first 5,000 days. I'm going to post this in the comments. Unfortunately, I think that this is only going to be posted on YouTube if I post it here in the comments. Let's see. Paste. There. But you know what? I can also I can go to Facebook, since I'm streaming this live on Facebook as well, and post this there for everybody. I would strongly encourage you to download this and save it, so you have a frame of reference about NFTs. Here we go. What are NFTs Part 2? Paste. Okay. So I'm almost out of time. I'll only do one more section here. So the public has complete access. Every day is the first 5,000 days. In a way, buying NFTs is more selfless than collecting traditional art. The rest of the world can get as equally up close and personal to appreciate the art's beauty as the owner can. NFTs give power to artists. In an era where artists are often exploited by large corporations acting as third parties, YouTube and Spotify, for example, NFTs can help give artists their power back. Like cryptocurrencies, NFTs render the middleman redundant. That is the whole point. You don't need the middleman anymore. Whoa, look at this. That's cool. Especially with the lion right there. People may be more motivated to buy NFT as they can be assured that they are directly supporting the artist of the NFT. Nobody else will be taking a cut of the proceeds. You know where else that might benefit? Have you ever seen the nonprofit charity industry? Have you ever seen an infomercial and they're saying we're raising money for the disaster relief fund of the flooding or of the hurricane or of a tornado or of an earthquake, and you want to donate money and you go through the agency that's online or they're doing an infomercial for, and you realize that 80% of the money collected never gets to where it's supposed to go, right? Never gets to the people who actually need it. Only 20% ever does. But if you do it through the blockchain, through a smart contract, then you know exactly where every single dollar is going. And you don't need to pay some executive an exorbitant fee because it's on a smart contract. You don't need the executive. You don't need the third party. Provis is right about that. That's what TOEX is all about. That's why I bought a TOEX NFT. That's why I got it. The entire charities industry is about to go through a revolution. People who actually need it are actually going to get it. So perhaps most significantly, as mentioned earlier, artists can utilize smart contracts where they will indefinitely receive a percentage of revenue off of every single sale of their piece of art. Thus, artists can receive passive income for the rest of their lives if their art continues to gain value and change hands. It's not only for the rest of their lives, but also for their children and their children's children and their children's children. You know, the greatest artists that we celebrate today, most of them died penniless. Their art didn't become famous till after they were dead and gone. Are their families reaping the benefits? No. But what if you're an artist today and you create your art and you do it through blockchain, through NFTs, and you have it set up where you're receiving passive income because you are the owner of that wallet? You pass on. Your children now take control of your wallet. Your art's going to live forever. The Mona Lisa is still going to be here when we're dead and gone. Our children's children are still going to be paying money to go look at the Mona Lisa. But now your family generations will be able to benefit from what you're doing today. Forever. I'm going to end on that note. And we're going to pick up tomorrow. Right here it says NFTs can potentially make people a lot of money in a short period of time. NFTs can potentially make people a lot of money in a short period of time. We're going to cover this tomorrow. And not only that, I'm going to be announcing the name of my new brand, my new company. Now, I want to let you know now, this is not an MLM company. This is not a network marketing company. This is a brand. Think of Tony Robbins' brand, Les Brown's brand, Bob Proctor, Zig Ziglar, Robert Kiyosaki. Who else I want to use? Jim Rohn. I'm creating a brand like that, but in the crypto space, where my brand is going to be providing a service that I'm already providing for other businesses, other companies. Not only crypto education, videos, but also personal consultation, one-on-one, an entire community, new videos. I've got 60 more videos on the docket covering NFTs, metaverse, DeFi, Internet of Things, smart cities and smart contracts. I'm going to have the whole gamut. We'll be doing Bitcoin boot camps, and we're going to have different versions of that. Bitcoin boot camps that's free for the community, and high-cost Bitcoin boot camp for private tutoring and lessons that we'll be doing at resorts. And that will be maybe only for 25 people or 50 people, invite only, or depending on how much are they willing to pay for this. So it's a whole thing, and I am going to add an affiliate to it as well. So for those of you that are a part of the whole system, and you know people who also need crypto education, if you refer them, you get a piece of the sale. So I'm going to have that as well. So you're going to be able to learn and earn at the same time. And what else can I say without revealing too much? Eventually, not just yet, but you're going to get used to the term CCC. Just remember that. And I'm going to probably give a hint tonight. I'm going to make a post with the new hashtag. In fact, I'm going to make that post right after I'm done with this live tonight with a brand new hashtag that you're going to see going around. So I'm real excited about what's coming for 2022, and I believe I did a crypto talk this morning that blew my mind, and here's the reason why. The entire crypto market cap right now, we're sitting at 2.1 trillion. A billionaire that I follow and I base how I move in the crypto space is talking about that this in the next 10 years can be $250 trillion market. And if he is 90% wrong and only 10% right, that still puts it at a $25 trillion market. We still have 23 trillion to go. Everything we know about crypto up to this point is based on 2.1 trillion. What happens if you add 23 more trillion to it? Every single one of you should be flat out wealthy. Every single one. From those of you listening to the sound of my voice, every single one of you, based on what you do today. Okay? Starting with crypto education. So with that, what is happening tomorrow next up? Next up is I'm doing iLearning Crypto talk tomorrow morning for the iLearning Crypto community. Then I will be doing the iLearning Crypto presentation tomorrow night. And I'm going to be practicing because I'm going to combine the crypto presentation I do now, but adding more from the old presentation on it so people have a full understanding on how the process works. And following that, I should be on the WCL presentation at 9 p.m. Eastern. I do the iLearning Crypto one at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then I'm going to do late night crypto talk at 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. And we're going to cover some more of what are NFTs. And then also the unveiling of my brand and what first event that's happening later this month that every single one of you can be a part of. And guess what? For free. How about that? All right, so that is it for Late Night Crypto Talk. I hope you learned something new. As always, that is the point. I will see you all tomorrow. Bitcoin Brandon out. God bless. Bye-bye.